A pleasant welcome to all my dear 6th standard children. Today we are going to see about your next topic from your biology subject, right? Yes. So, before we get into the topic, I am going to ask you few questions. Come on, let us see. Right. So, it is just a general information for you. So, you can survive without food. So, we can able to survive food without eating food for at least 30 days, right, and we can survive without water for 3 days. We can survive without air for 3 minutes, right. So, more than 3 minutes we cannot survive without air, yes. So, now you are going to guess what topic I am going to teach you. Have you got it? Yes, it is about air, right. So, we are going to learn a very important system inside our body that helps in taking the air. Yes, yes. So, we can see through our eyes and we can hear sounds through our nose. Now, how this taking of air is taking place inside our body, how the air is entering into our body, yes. So, with the help of nose. So, human beings or some animals, they have nose. So, the nose has 2 nostrils. So, with the help of the 2 nostrils, we take in the air and we give out some air through the nostrils, right. So, some animals, for example, if we take fish, they breathe with gills, right, and frog when they are under water, they breathe with the help of moist skin. Even earthworm, they breathe with the help of moist skin. Same way, some insects, they breathe with the help of spiracles, right, yes. But of course, human beings, we are going to study about the respiration process in a human beings, right. So, the air enters through the nostrils which is present in the nose. So, inside the nose we can see many hair structures that is present. So, which will block the entry of other dust or anything. So, thereby the only the air can able to travel inside the nose. Okay. So, today we are going to see about respiratory system, right. Okay. So, we are going to learn more about the respiratory system of humans, okay, right. So, now we are going to learn about the respiratory system. So, under respiratory system, what concepts that we are going to learn, what are the learning outcomes is, we are going to learn the main parts of the respiratory system and the functions of the respiratory system, right. And then what is the difference between respiration and breathing? Next one, mechanism of breathing, how a breathing takes place, what is the mechanism of the breathing, and we are going to learn about the role of diaphragm, inhalation and exhalation. During the inhalation and exhalation, what happens to the diaphragm? And also finally, we are going to learn about the respiratory diseases, right. So, what are the respiratory diseases that affect the human beings, okay, right. So, next we are going to see about first respiratory system, right. So, first we are going to see what are the parts that involve in respiration, right. So, what is respiration? So, respiration is nothing but taking in air and giving out, okay. So, respiration is a process where the energy is liberated with the help of exchange of gases that takes place, okay. So, here many organs, many parts that help in respiration. Of course, we all know that the air enters through our nostrils which is present in the nose, right. So, here the air enters into the nose. So, in the nose we have a tube-like structure that is present here, which and after that once the air enters through the nose, the air goes through the pharynx, and after pharynx it enters into the larynx. Larynx is a place which is known as voice box, okay. So, where the voice box is present. So, with the help of that only we can able to speak, okay. So, and again from there, from the larynx, the air enters into the windpipe which is known as trachea, okay. So, trachea is a pipe where it is protected by some cartilages, okay. So, after the air enters into the trachea, so the trachea is further divided into two branches which is known as bronchi. Okay. So, or each we can say bronchus. Okay. So, each bronchus have a spongy sac like structures which is known as lungs. Okay. So, inside once the bronchus enters into the lungs, it is divided into many branches which is known as bronchioles. Okay. So, each bronchioles have a air sac like structures which is known as alveoli. So, this in singular we can say alveolus. Okay. So, in each alveolus blood capillaries is present. So, where the blood capillaries carries the deoxygenated blood and thereby in the alveolus the exchange of gases takes place. So, the oxygen that we take inside will travel all these ways and enters into the alveolus, and there in the alveolus the oxygen is diffused into the blood capillary. Okay, again from the blood capillary the carbon dioxide which is present is diffused into the alveolus, and again from the alveolus the carbon dioxide travels into the bronchioles, bronchus, trachea, windpipe, larynx, pharynx, and then from through the nose the carbon dioxide is released out. So, this is what the respiration takes place. Okay. So, what are the parts that helps in respiration? So, first one is nose. So, nose. Nose, from the nose you have nostrils. So, through the nostrils the air enters into the pharynx. So, pharynx is a place where we can see two openings is present. So, one side it is connected with the food pipe, the other side is connected with the windpipe. Okay. So, when the air is entering the food pipe will close, and when you are eating food the windpipe will close. Okay. So, here after the pharynx the air enters into the larynx, and after the larynx the air enters into the windpipe which is known as trachea, right. So, from the trachea the air enters into the bronchi, and from bronchi the air enters into the bronchioles, and from the each bronchioles is connected with the air like structure which is known as alveoli, right. So, this you can see from here the lungs is present. So, inside the lungs we can see all this. So, from the bronchi the air enters into the lungs. So, we have two lungs on the right side as well as left side. So, this air spongy structure which is present in the thoracic cavity which is protected by our rib cage. Okay. So, under the lungs we can see a muscle which is present which is known as diaphragm. So, this diaphragm also helps in respiration. So, now we are going to see the difference between the aerobic and anaerobic respiration. So, I already told you respiration means which involves exchange of gases, right. So, when the oxygen is present it is known as aerobic respiration. So, aerobic respiration refers to presence of oxygen, and when sometimes for example some organisms like bacteria or fungi they undergo anaerobic respiration. Anaerobic respiration means in the respiration process oxygen does not involved, oxygen will not be present. Okay. So, they utilize the food is converted into ethyl alcohol and the carbon dioxide is liberated. So, thereby the food they get the energy through the absence of oxygen. Okay. So, now let us see what is the difference between aerobic and anaerobic respiration. So, aerobic respiration means presence of oxygen, anaerobic respiration means absence of oxygen. Even there is no oxygen also the organism can able to survive without oxygen. Example bacteria and yeast. Okay. and food molecules completely broken down into carbon dioxide and water. So, which releases energy. So, here in the aerobic respiration, the food molecules is completely broken down and thereby we get carbon dioxide and water and we get energy, right. But in anaerobic respiration, the food molecules partially broken down. So, only some part of the food molecules broken down into ethyl alcohol, carbon dioxide, and these organisms get energy through that. Okay. So, the food molecules partially broken down to get ethyl alcohol, carbon dioxide and energy. Okay. The next one, so we can see in aerobic respiration energy release will be more, but whereas in anaerobic respiration the energy release is much less when compared to the aerobic respiration. So, this is the two differences of aerobic and anaerobic respiration, right. So, next one, what is the difference between breathing and cellular respiration? So, cellular respiration means which is happening, the exchange of gases happens between the inside the cell. Okay. So, now let us see what is the difference. So, it is a physical process of exchange of gases. So, breathing means it is a physical process wherein we take in the oxygen and we give out carbon dioxide. So, if you touch your nostrils and see when you exhale, so you can see the air is very warm, it means that the carbon dioxide is coming out, right. Okay. So, that process is a physical process which is known as breathing. Okay. So, here in the breathing exchange of gases takes place. So, carbon dioxide comes out and oxygen goes in. Okay. Next, in cellular respiration, the chemical process of food molecules are oxidized to get carbon dioxide and water. So, in the inside the cellular respiration, we can see some chemical molecules are produced because of the food molecules, and it is oxidized to get carbon dioxide and water. Okay. So, this breathing occurs outside the cell. So, the breathing occurs outside the cell, but whereas cellular respiration, in cellular respiration the breathing occurs inside the cell. Okay. So, here in breathing enzymes are not involved. So, it is just a process where taking in oxygen and giving out carbon dioxide. So, no enzymes involved in the breathing process. In cellular respiration enzymes are involved, and in breathing no energy is released. So, in the breathing process no energy is released, it is just taking in oxygen and giving out carbon dioxide, but whereas in cellular respiration energy is released, right. So, this is the two differences of breathing and cellular respiration. So, now children, in this session you have learnt the main parts and the functions, main parts of the respiratory system, right, and also you learnt about the difference between the breathing and cellular respiration, and also you learned the difference between the aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. Go through the lesson, go through the video. If you have a doubt, again go through many times the video, so that you will come to understand clearly about the concept, right. So, thank you for watching. Have a good day.